right, we're back. We got the Mr. Brian Rigby. He is he's a comic. He's a very, very talented musician as well. He is the guy who did the music for the podcast, the intro music and the outro music that you hear. And he's a wonderful, wonderful one of the few people in comedy where I'm like, he's an okay guy. He looks a little creepy, but that's
Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate it. Love what you've done with the hair. It's nice, You didn't dance, but I guess you don't do that for the podcast. It was just the show.
Just the feet out, dude. Just
That's
the
right.
little feet sluts.
That's right.
Brian has his socks on today. Sorry, guys.
Is that a rule?
No, it's not a rule. You don't have to do it. I don't
Okay.
want to make anyone uncomfortable.
Well, your neighborhood already did.
Dude, this neighborhood's a good neighborhood. It's safe. It's family friendly. It's far, but still.
It's what's bizarre about it? As I was walking, it's a beautiful day. It's sunny, but the people are cloudy. That's
Dude, they're all from the Soviet Union.
why are all their eyes sunken? Like they can eat more than just carrots now. They're here.
No, dude, they like to live that way because it keeps them sharp. Keeps people sharp.
Well, they seem slow.
They are a little slow, but they will fuck you if they can. Any
Okay.
way they can. That's the Russians they don't fuck around. Dude.
Those dirty potato peeling bastards.
Yeah, those motherfuckers. But I want to talk to you about last night. You went on a date.
Kind of. So
Well, you were supposed to go on a date.
yeah, I was supposed to go on a date. This girl from Long Island. I was going to meet her like halfway in like the Lynbrook, Rockville Center area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How far in Long Island if that's the halfway point?
It's only about a half hour.
Okay.
On LIRR. Wasn't that bad, but yeah, we set a day and time, set a place, but then I didn't hear anything from her. I was like, we're adults. It's in the calendar, and I was just like, hey, you good? And I was already like on the way. I'm like, fuck it. And I'm waiting, and it's just like, hear nothing. I messaged her, didn't hear nothing. Luckily, there was a White Castle right next door. Dude, I wish I saw that on the map when I was choosing a place. I feel like subconsciously I chose the date spot because there was a White Castle, assuming there was going to be failure.
Okay, and how'd you meet her?
Just through Hinge.
Through Hinge.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the spot that you were supposed to go?
Just kind of just bar restaurant.
Random.
Yeah.
Okay. And everything seemed fine when you were chatting?
Everything seemed cool. It was just like then just radio silence. So.
And then when you got there and you were waiting, what did you text her? Or?
Yeah, I messaged her and I was just gave it like 20 and I'm like, all right, I got the crave.
Yeah. And that was it, man.
That was it. Yeah.
Oh, God damn it, dude. See, there's nothing lower. Like, you want to ghost someone, okay, that's not right either, but to just stand somebody up,
Yeah.
that's so fucked up.
Especially if like we didn't have like a day and time like solidified. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's like one of those things where like, yeah, I don't know. It's Hinge. It's whatever.
No, I get it, but you had to travel to fucking Long Island. I mean, Astoria is not too far, but still, you got to
Let's
make the
come for
trip.
the city.
Whatever. Either way. Okay. Whatever. God damn it,
See,
Brian.
this is a trend. People defend me more than I defend myself.
Yeah, you don't know. Don't defend her. Fuck her, dude. So she no response. Did she speak to you today?
No. Yeah.
What a cunt.
Yeah.
What a cunt. No, that's shit, dude. And you're such a nice guy. Like, you really are a nice guy. You may have, a body in your closet, but
I walked up and said, fuck you, were the first word out of my mouth.
yeah, but that's different. It's me. You're
That's
nice to
fair.
people for the most
Who
part.
matter.
Yes, I don't
Yes.
matter. I don't matter. But I've never been stood up, but I had like a situation on the way they canceled. When I was on my way, they canceled.
That
on me.
blows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, man, you're out there trying. I haven't gone on a date in a very long time.
That was my first, one probably since, when did I move? Probably since like last August, honestly.
Yeah.
I had a couple of just like, met up with people casually, but like this was like the first planned date I've had in like over a year.
Yeah.
So welcome back to it.
I mean, I guess it's a numbers game at the end of the day, right? You
Yeah.
got to just keep trying. And I mean, at this point, if I was you, I'd write to her, be like, all right, well, I was thinking about ending my life, and now I definitely am, and kind of scare her a little bit.
She's seen my picture. She knows that.
That's a solid point.
Yeah.
That's a solid point.
Do I look stable? No.
No, but that's okay. But still, I would write something. But you know what? Like, look, I would. I mean, I guess. Do you want to give her I mean, I guess does that give her power? You think if you write something like, "Hey, I think it was kind of shitty."
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore it. If she messages back, I'd be willing to. Willing to give a second chance if it was just like an honest fuck up. She forgot to put it in her calendar or whatever. She didn't, doesn't have notifications on.
Yeah.
Because it was all just through Hinge or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just it's what it is. She didn't know me anything.
I guess so. But are you looking for like a life partner or no?
Can you say that in a much more masculine way?
Or are you looking for someone to fuck on a regular basis?
Now do it sound like you're 5'10". Yeah, no, I'm just looking for just somebody like that to. To be quite honest with you, I just don't want to be alone around Christmas again.
Yeah.
It's just to have somebody that I care about, who cares about me. I don't care about the label of it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Do you go to? I mean, your family's in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, spread out, but yeah, my parents are in Pennsylvania. My sister's upstate in New York.
So do you go to see them? Like during the
for
holiday?
the holidays, yeah.
Okay, but do you want to bring someone to your family?
No, it's been around that time of year.
In general,
yeah.
Yeah.
That was just an example, but yeah. No, it's nice to have somebody that like, you're just walking through the city. Everything's like kind of like just all nice holidays, but it's just like just looking at a sea of couples, and like I'm going on 2.5 years single.
Yeah.
After all the horse shit, and it's just like, yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody.
Do you feel like your life has gotten better though? Because you were saying you were one of the most hardworking guys in comedy that I know, because you were traveling from Pennsylvania to New York every fucking day, back and forth. And I know that you were stressing out about that, but like your life has gotten significantly better, I'm sure, since moving into the city.
Yeah, no, like literally everything snapped into place. Like otherwise, besides just like the dating shit, it's just like, everything else is tremendous. The fuck is that?
That's a good question.
Is that the ghost? Okay, so maybe the girl is dead.
That girl, she better be dead. I don't know.
And that's her ghost saying, "I'm sorry."
God damn it, no.
It's okay, Lauren.
She had a very light pulse. I don't know if I thought it dulled out, but
okay, that's
she
good.
may be alive.
All right.
Get back in the fucking closet. Anyway,
we all know it's a dude. What were we talking about genuinely?
You're moving back here.
Yeah, like I said, everything's fallen into place. Just like, finally, like money is no longer like an issue of just like trying to pay back the car repairs. It's just for the 3 people listening. I spent $9,000 on car repairs, just one after the other. Every time something got fixed, the next thing fucking broke, and I was trying to get here for work every day from Pennsylvania. So I was kind of stuck in this cycle. Now I've got, I just got a loan to cover the credit cards, and I'm able to sell my car now. So like everything's like,
you're
cool
back
on the money front, and it's just, my commute is a half hour as opposed to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it turns out that was the biggest problem.
Was the commute?
The commute was just like taking away every part of my humanity,
They say that I've read articles that the most stressful part of people's day is their commute. Like the shorter your commute, the better your life is a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because the other shit you're always going to have to deal with. But you could change your commute time by moving, which obviously costs money and so on. But I've read that is the killer. Like it just destroys them.
Yeah, especially when you can't get out of that situation. And it's just like, this is just like, just my reality, and it's just like, there's no way out until like I finally had the money to move back.
Yeah.
And it's just that it was killing me.
Yeah.
It just made me a completely different person, because like how I am normally is just kind of like just bubbly, goofy. There's obviously some darker like tones, just because that's just what I find funny, but it's just like, I was a miserable piece of shit for the past year and a half.
You wouldn't know it though, honestly. Like having your communicate, because I see you at least once a week, and I would never have known that you were miserable. I know you were dealing with a lot, but you managed to hide it really well.
Irish,
I guess so. That's a good point.
Yeah, no, you just kind of bottle up. Luckily, I've got outlets. Like a lot of it came out in my comedy, even as an instrumentalist, like just on gigs. Like that's just where I play very heavy, like especially when I'm playing keys, and I think a lot of it like comes out like almost like I'm like working a punching bag. So
that's interesting.
There is something in here that I'm allergic to, I feel like.
Really?
Yeah, my left eye is just about to explode.
It could be the incense that I had on.
Oh yeah, that could be.
Oh shit, my bad. Are you all right?
Yeah, no, good. You might just have something in it. But
if you need to stop, let me know.
Nah, we're good. This is good content.
It's Yeah, dude, the music. Because I mean, I've seen you play before, and you do like. I mean, what you made for the podcast is. I mean, I obviously was like, you understood who I am, and I gave you kind of like a very very rough like just play and have a good time. But like this is the framework. But I didn't. When I've seen you play, you fucking go hard, dude. Like you've been playing for how long?
I mean, professionally, I'm going on like 15 years. As far as just playing instruments, I picked up guitar when I was like 13. I picked up piano when I was like 15 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you think is harder, comedy or music?
It depends on the context. Once you get rolling with music, it's like not the hardest thing in the world. It's just like it's a much slower like growth thing, and like comedy is so much more of like a mystery, I feel like.
Okay.
Or I should say it's less tangible.
Okay.
Like music, it's like if you do 1 + 1 + 1, it's going to equal like almost 3 every time.
Mm-hmm.
You just need a little bit of finesse to actually make it a solidified 3.
Okay.
Whereas comedy is like 1 + 1 + I got no idea equals who knows.
Okay.
And that's like, but that's why I love comedy.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you have no idea how the set's going to go at any point. You have no idea when you write a joke how people are going to take it. You can have a joke that's been killing and just all of a sudden it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes it difficult. It's much less of a guarantee of success, but it's definitely more fun. I think it's less predictable.
Yeah, because I guess when you have a song down and you're going to perform it, you know the song, and it's like if people, people aren't going to get outraged by music unless you're like singing like a slave song or something like that.
Or like a Johnny Rebel, like
yeah.
song. But yeah, like unless you just play poorly, but like, if you're playing well, even if you're having like an off night, if you're a professional, there's still a level that you can just even phone in, and that translates to a good show.
Okay.
Whereas comedy, like you can be just like firing on all cylinders, and like there's something that doesn't work. And you have no idea what it is.
That's dude. It's a. Would you prefer, like, if you had your choice, right? Let's say someone said you're gonna make it either way. Would you rather make it as a musician or as a comic?
It depends on what I'm doing well at. If I'm having a good week in comedy,
yeah,
I'm always like, fuck, I wish I could do this with music too. But then when I'm having a good week with music, I'm just like, yeah, but I wish I could make comedy work like this. It's just I flip flop because I'm in both worlds like pretty evenly.
Yeah.
It's I just assume I'm never gonna be happy.
Well, that's a comic's brain, I feel like, and probably musician or artists in general, where there's just this never, it's the void is always open kind of thing, like it's never gonna be full. But I just I always wanted to be like a rock star, like that's what I wanted more than anything, was to be like a fucking, like you see the Rolling Stones and like they're just going ham. And I knew I could never sing, and I never took the time to learn an instrument. So I couldn't. There's no way I'd ever be able to read music, which I know you don't need to know how to read music to, like, for those guys at least. And I was like, well, what else? What else is there that's like performative and entertaining? And it's comedy. Just was like, all right, well, it's just me. I could figure that out. That seems. Not when you're on a professional level, but when you want to start something, it seems easier, if that makes sense. Like sitting down and learning an instrument seems harder to me than going up and performing comedy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like the getting started, there's like such a physical barrier.
Yeah.
Whereas comedy, it's kind of just like, you can get up on stage at any point, and even if you suck, there's still a way to make it funny and fun.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to get great at comedy. Whereas like, once you're already very good at music, it's like that's when it gets easier.
Yeah, that
makes sense.
That's the thing, dude. I see. I guess it's because we do comedy so regularly. When I go to see musicians play, I'm always a little envious. I'm like, God, that's because there's nothing cooler than the guy playing the guitar on stage. Like the women are just like, the comic is, it's entertaining and funny, but there's gonna be like, let's say there's 10 women in a crowd. There's going to be one that thinks it's hot. Like, oh, that's a sexy thing that you're doing. But if you're playing the guitar on stage, 9 times out of 10, I feel like not all 10 women are going to be like, that's hot. You know what I mean? There's just something sexier about it, the music.
Not when you don't have hair anymore.
That's you, Brian. Yeah, that sucks. You just got fucking screwed.
That's the thing I noticed the second I like, even when I had like hair and it was just I was cutting it short because I knew I was going bald, it was fine. The second I was the bald musician,
Yeah.
it was so funny just like watching like me like have a like just a ripping set, and like people were like going crazy, girls are going crazy. The second I'm off stage, I am a ghost. Because I used to have a full like fro. I used to have a long like kind of carrot top looking thing, and that's when I was just like, oh, attention. And like it worked. Now, yeah. And then comedy, same thing. I get off. I have a great set, and like I see the girls laughing. Even in my head, I'm just like naturally like, oh, they're interested. And then I walk off, and it's just like nothing.
Well, Moby was bald, right? He's a musician.
Yeah.
Is he gay?
No, he's a different type. He's like I think he makes cooler music.
Okay.
Because I'm like a, dig your shoulder in rock, like, Bruce Springsteen type of thing, where it's just like, very singer-songwriter with like a heavy rock undertone.
Yeah.
Which just women don't like, I think is the problem.
Some women do. I mean, do you write?
If they're 50, if they're like 50 and over.
No, I think there are some like they're grungy. There are grungier women out there, I think.
There are, but they're the ones that smoke inside. I think that's
I like those kind of women.
Yeah, that's the thing. We got different tastes.
I like
girls who ghost me in Lynbrook.
I like the girls who look like a ghost. They just they're sunken in and just fucking they've had it.
If you want to walk back with me to the train, I saw
There's
like
a couple.
3. Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll hit it. But yeah, man, it's a weird thing. I mean, I don't think. Do you ever think about going to Turkey to get like the?
No? I rock this. It's fine.
You
I'm
look good
with
bald.
Yeah, no, I lucked out. I got a good bald head. I was more self-conscious as I was balding.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of just like, it was more of like a fuck one day I'm just going to come into work with no hair.
Yeah.
And it's more of a social anxiety thing than it is like the anxiety about the hair. But the second I shaved it and I walked out of the bathroom and like my girlfriend at the time was just like, yeah, it was good. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
It was that was it.
I think there are certain people. My buddy went, I saw him actually last night. He went bald. And he just shaved it one day. And I was like, oh, I can't imagine you with hair now. Like, you look good. You rock it good. And that's rare, dude. Like, if I went bald, I don't got the head for it, I don't think. I think I'd look frightening.
Yeah, you would be like, what does he have?
Yeah, cancer. They'd be like, lymphoma. That's what he's got. It's one of those things, dude, that where, like, it just works on certain. I would be on the first plane to Turkey, for sure. I would take out a loan. If I don't care how much money I'd owe, I'd go to Turkey and I'd get it done.
Yeah, I looked into it. It's like, I forget, per strip of like, I think it's like I think $300 per like graph.
And how many do you need?
Method. It depends on how bald you are.
Let's use
say for me, because I've got a receding hairline as well as like the male pattern baldness in the back.
Yeah.
It would probably be in America 10 to 20 grand.
Okay, what about Turkey? So like 30.
Turkey probably like 8 grand or so.
Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah, it's like I would have to take a loan out. It'd be like paying a car off.
Yeah, but it's a car that's worth it, It's
See, but that's the thing. You have to keep getting it done. That's something that people don't
talk
about. Yeah, just because it's like that hair is fine, but it doesn't mean you're not still balding. So like your other like follicles, like there's people who've gotten the top done and then like the hairline is like going like they still have like a bald spot that's going further back. Or if like they don't get the full thing like done here because there's already hair here. Yeah, those hairs fall out, then they have to get replaced.
That's a fucking nightmare. Yeah. Okay, I thought you just kind of like I thought I mean, if you're not going bald in other places, I mean, I guess you can go bald at some point in other places, which is fucking God damn it, what a waste, dude.
It's kind of like LASIK. At a certain point, like your eyes are just gonna be shitty again.
Yeah. That scares the fuck out of me, that LASIK.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. You ever consider getting it?
Yeah, I want to so bad.
Really?
Now that I'm not, like, doing rock eggs as much, it's not a big deal. Because I used to, like, playing for 3 hours and having to, like, push the glasses up.
Yeah.
Kind of blows. I used to have contacts, but those kind of just irritate your eyes, especially if you're touring. It's just, like, you're getting sweat in the eyes, you're not getting enough sleep, and then you're just having to put, like, a contact in. Yeah. Just, like, blows. So I've definitely thought about it, but it's just, I feel like I look weird without glasses.
I can't imagine you without them, dude.
Yeah, I used to religiously wear contacts for a long time. Yeah. And then, just I kind of, I think I got chubby at a certain point, and then my eyes were more closed than they should have been.
Okay.
I mean, and now I've just kept it.
But, I mean, that's, I remember when I first saw you, you had those glasses. Obviously, you're bald, and I remember looking. I was like, those are like the white supremacist glasses,
Yes,
like from the '60s.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had the other frames too, like the thicker, like Ray-Ban type of frames. Those kept breaking off of my head.
What do you mean?
I got a giant head, dude. They don't make glasses like my size.
Wide enough, you mean?
Yeah, like unless I get like $300 special order. But
Yeah.
like I do iBuy Direct, which is like $15 frames.
Yeah.
But yeah, those kept just snapping off randomly throughout the day.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
It happened like I was driving, so that's why I got these because they look racist, but they fit great. And they're flexible. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of stuck. It's just big head problems, dude.
I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, but they look good. Like when I first, they work on you. I like them.
I've been told that they give me eyebrows because I don't really have.
You want to know something? That's the truth.
Yeah, dude.
Holy
It gives
shit.
me an expressive eyebrow to people who are more than 10 feet away.
Yeah. And how bad is your vision? Like if they fall off during a set, let's say like you're playing the piano, can you see the keys or is your vision fucked?
Yeah, I mean, like it's fucked. It's mostly just like the clarity and like the depth perception.
Yeah.
So I'm severely nearsighted, but it's like the type of thing where I can see like shapes. I can tell like what things are.
Mm.
But like even like from here, like I can't see your face. Like
Really?
I could tell it's you because I know you.
Yeah.
But like it's just all very blurry.
Wow.
So and what that does is like I've tried to do gigs like where like I didn't have contacts and like the glasses were like kind of just like annoying, and it's like I get dizzy almost because it's like the depth perception is kind of gone.
Yeah.
So and like I'm like afraid I'm gonna like wander off the stage by accident. Like
Oh,
that's
okay.
that type of thing. So it's to that point. But if I'm just sitting playing keys, like yeah, it's not really a bother.
Okay.
It's just if I try to focus on something, it'll strain my eyes a little bit. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you did you have a band at any point or no?
Yeah. So that's I've been a side guy now for a few years, but my main
What's a
gig,
side guy?
someone who like plays for another artist.
Okay.
Like, side man, hired gun, is kind of like the terminology. But for years I was a singer songwriter.
Okay.
So I toured and produced my own music. Was like managing my own group. Like I was a solo artist with a backing band.
Okay.
And then probably around like 2018 or so, I was trying to get more work because like just being a singer-songwriter and artist just costs money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really make money. Like on a good day, you break even.
Okay.
So I started gigging for other artists on like bass, keys, and guitar. And then coming out of the pandemic, I started hitting that harder,
Okay.
playing for other artists and just kind of built a network of people that I could play with pretty regularly for cash.
And you make decent money, I'm sure.
Decent enough, yeah. It definitely contributes like a decent amount of my income.
Yeah.
Like I would say right now, because I mean, I've got a better job than I did, 5 years back. But like right now, it's still probably about 10-15% of my income.
Okay.
Before, like when I was only making like $25K a year from my day job, it was like almost half
Yeah.
of it. So yeah, it's definitely contributed a lot.
And do you play like weddings and shit like that?
I wasn't a wedding man for a little bit.
What's that like?
Horrible.
Yeah, it's got to be rough, right?
Yeah, because like all the other artists I play for are original,
Okay.
which are great. Like that's my favorite thing to do. Wedding bands, you're just playing covers that you've been playing forever. That you can play with those original bands. If somebody requests that, you're like, yeah, fuck it, we can kind of knock this out.
Yeah.
That the wedding band leader will be so stringent about how it's played that it's just like it's not fun, and it's just one of those songs. It's like we know how to fucking play this song.
Stop treating us like children.
Yeah, but like it's just like that harmony was off, and it's just like you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I was in a few groups like that, or even just like the work. Just that makes music feel like work,
Yeah.
and it's just like you're making much more money, but it's like the quality's not any better.
I understand.
Yeah, and then like wedding bands, there's a lot of drama. It's like its own little world.
That. Yeah.
It's kind of like cruise ship comics.
Oh, okay.
It's like that type of vibe where it's just like you can't really take them out of that context easily
Yeah.
and have them succeed. And then at the same time, you can't come out of your context and go over there, and you could probably succeed. You just would be really miserable.
That's fucking dude. That sucks. I've heard stories about people who who do weddings, and it's like they say it's. I feel like for comedy, it's probably like doing your set that like that 10 minutes that you're so sick of, but you're like, yeah, it works, and I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah,
It's a similar thing. I feel like.
And it's not even that. It's more so like if you just had to do hack material to get laughs. That's kind of what it's like, because it's all just like, signed, sealed, delivered, but too fast.
Gotcha.
Or like, just like material like that, like Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
Yeah.
It's like, but like too fast. Like it's kind of like, you can't really be an artist when you're playing in a wedding band, because like you're trying to just play the exact song the exact way, but faster.
Why faster?
It's just an energy thing that every wedding band leader wants.
You need to just pick up the pace, like to get people jumping a little.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just, it's when white people play soul music. That's all it is. When white people play soul music, they have to take it like 12 clicks faster.
That's annoying.
Yeah. They can't like just chill in a groove. Like when you're playing in an original band who like plays bars and stuff like that, like you'll take something and just flip it over completely.
Yeah.
Like in my band, we used to toss in Dear Prudence by the Beatles.
Okay.
But I made it like a kind of funkier, like kind of Stevie Wonder-ish type of thing, dragged it back a little bit.
Okay.
And I would just randomly, like I would point to the bassist and just go like this, and that meant like, solo for a while.
Okay.
And like we would just kind of just come out of it. I inserted at one point, because it's a similar chord structure, Miami 2017 by Billy Joel.
Okay.
I just added that piano part in there. Like something like that where you can kind of just like take bits and pieces. It's almost like doing crowd work, but like really good elevated crowd work.
Okay.
But like just in a musical sense. And then like people will have a blast, and then like you go into an original, you can do anything with it. There are originals that I've done that are full band, and then I'll just strip it down and just do it solo.
Okay.
Or Bruce Springsteen's got a great version of one of his songs, 10th Avenue Freeze Out, off the Born to Run record, where it's like a fun, just like kind of up-tempo funk tune.
Yeah.
But then he does it like as a ballad on this one live record that is like just, it's like chilling, it's haunting, and it's just like, oh wow, this song that is just a fun song now has some sort of like deeper meaning, and it's just like, yeah, it's so much fun to do that. You can't do that in a wedding band.
Okay. And I mean, and being in a band in general, I mean, that's the beauty of comedy, where there's a double-edged sword with comedy. It's, you don't have to answer really to anybody. Obviously, the club, the booker, whatever. But when you're up there, you're up there. You choose what you want to do. Whereas in a band, you got to deal with the egos of other people. You got to make sure you're in time with those people. But there's also a loneliness aspect to comedy. Like if you hit the road as a comic, sure, you'd hope to have an opener that you could bring, or like a friend that you can go on the road with. But then that may not happen, and then you're on your own, and there's this sense of extreme loneliness, because you go, you entertain people, you make them feel good, you feel good, you're high, and then you go, where do I go now? I go to the motel room and just fucking sit there. Whereas in a band, you can shoot the shit with your buddies after.
Yeah. Dude, the van hang is the most fun.
Really?
You're just driving on the highway for 8 hours, and like there have been times where I've driven 16 hours.
Wow.
In one shot with the band, and it's just, but it's like some of the most fun I've ever had in my life. And yeah, that's the one thing with comedy. It's like, that's why I like the club atmosphere. And like even just last night, I just went with a buddy of mine to the Olive Tree above the Cellar.
Oh, I love that spot.
And just watching just like the comics just hang out, it's just like, all right, they're only on the road, but like they come back to that, which is cool.
That's what I've heard. It's like during the week they're all here, and then on the weekends when they hit the road, they there's a sense of they come back. They have their home base wherever they're from, whether it's in New York or L.A. or whatever. Like, could be the Cellar, could be the store. But I've thought about that a lot, because I've done some road gigs, and I'll open, like there's one comic in particular, Jake and Louie,
the Peppa guy.
Yeah,
he's actually good.
Yeah. He takes me on the road with him, and I'll open for him, and we hang out. We're different personalities, but we shoot the shit and we talk. But there are moments like I get off stage and I'm in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and I'm like, wow, like this is like I killed. I had a great time, and I go. Like, I could see, 20 years, even if you're doing it for a living, there's a sense of, like, depressiveness. Like, I could see myself, I wouldn't do it, going to my hotel room and hanging myself kind of thing. Not, you know what I mean? Like, there's this just like, wow, you entertain this room full of people, and you give everything. You give them everything you got, and you're either exhausted or you're excited, and then you're alone. It's really weird.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. I kind of like solitude.
Me too.
I do like kind of going to the few times I've traveled alone, kind of going back to a hotel room alone
Mm.
and just having like me time.
Yeah.
Especially like, we live in the city and we're constantly just surrounded by people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you have to frame it to yourself like that, of just like kind of looking at it as like a social vacation.
That is true. That is true. I think my problem is because you don't drink, right?
No.
My problem is like when I'm feeling good, like I get off stage, I'm feeling fucking, the engines are roaring. And my instinct is more pleasure, how do I get, okay, I'm done with that on stage. How do I keep feeling better? And my thing is to like, I want to drink. And most times I know, like if I'm alone, I won't do it because it'll get self-destructive.
Yeah.
But that's usually my headspace. And if I'm with people, the drinking isn't as self-destructive. It's more of like we're hanging, we're recapping.
Yeah.
But being alone, you go, that's sad. Going out and drinking by yourself. It could be fun if you meet a girl or something like that. But I like me time too. I like living alone. Being in New York and living here, I have a lot of alone time. When I go to the club and I see you guys, it's my social time. But most of my day, like I have coworkers and stuff, but I'm in a car alone. I'm working alone. I come home alone. So I get a lot of that. But I don't know where the fuck I was going with that. I enjoy me time. I do. But
I could see if I was living like this, I could see it being different.
Yeah.
But like my job, I'm surrounded by people and noise constantly because I work at a music school.
Yeah.
Traveling on the train, just being shoulder to shoulder with people, and then like I've always had roommates.
Yeah.
Of some sort. And it's just like, it's just like I love getting to a hotel, just putting a movie on the iPad
and just fucking
like
chilling.
Yeah.
What do you think is worse? Being alone and surrounded by people, or being alone, and surrounded by people, or being alone and there's nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a loneliness aspect to New York City. It can feel like the loneliest place in the world, but you're surrounded by everyone. Yeah,
that's kind of how last night felt. That's there are times like that where like I'm just looking at a sea, like what I referenced earlier. Like there's just like, oh, look at all these people. Look at all like the camaraderie or just like the relationships that are like playing out in front of you.
Yeah.
But you're just kind of just there, like observing and watching. It does kind of make you feel like an alien a little bit.
It does, right?
Yeah.
I have that a lot, man. I have that a lot where I just go, wow, like there's, but to me it feels worse when I see it all. I'm like, holy shit. When I'm completely alone, like it doesn't feel as bad. But it also switches every you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's why people have such a hard time moving here. Their first year, I tell people, I'm like, it's hard. It is so hard. But once you get past year one and you start to really go, okay, no, I found you find a group, you find some people, but it takes time.
Yeah. I got lucky when I moved back here because I lived in Virginia for about 2 years.
Okay.
Because it's where my ex was from, and I moved in with her. And when I got back here, luckily, I got a job at Guitar Center, just like teaching, and like those are like the most fun dudes on the planet. Like I still keep in contact with all of them.
Super chill.
And it was just like an immediate, just like, oh, this is a great hang.
Yeah.
And then I still had like my music circles where I can like kind of, and I met new people through that, but like, you just kind of like, I immediately got in there. If you're like working a normal corporate job where you can't be yourself.
Yeah.
Or like you just like, there's nowhere for you to be like intimately social, like where if you're surrounded by comics, let's say, like you get to know each other quick because you're material.
Yeah.
And then you're able to like, kind of just like, goof around, pal around, and you find friends pretty quick.
Yeah.
But if you're just like a normal person, that's fucking miserable.
It's tough, man. Like that's the beauty of coming here and doing comedy is immediately you find people. Like you're like, okay, if all this fails, I don't make any other friends. I know I could see Brian at Judy Z's or whatever. You find your group. But
even though you're never there.
No, I don't come there anymore. It's not because I don't want to. All right, it's because it's fucking early and work's been killing me. Sorry, Alec and Steve.
Yeah, see, he really wants to make it.
Fuckface. I still go to the mics every day. Not those mics. I go to different ones. Scumbag. All right. But yeah, man. So you live in Virginia, dude. What the fuck is it like over there?
It was the town I was living in. There are lovely places in Virginia. I just wasn't there.
Yeah.
It felt like a Better Call Saul episode.
Oh, that's
Like,
fucking eerie.
I lived in the meth capital of the East Coast.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fun.
So I lived in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Go Dukes! But I dropped out. Yeah, it was sad. So essentially, the reason I moved down there, my parents moved from Jersey to Pennsylvania. That happened in 2018. And I was commuting to Jersey for work. I had 2 jobs at the time plus gigging.
So from Pennsylvania to Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was like, with traffic in the morning, like 2 hours. I'm like, this is killing me. My girlfriend decided to stay at the college we both went to and to do grad school. I was like, let me give it a try. I had some leads on a job down there. An acquaintance of mine had a marketing company, like a marketing startup, and I was like, okay, yeah. He said there's a place for you here, so come on down. And then I started working at a club as the talent buyer. But then the second I got down there, my buddy filed for bankruptcy.
No.
And the club I was working at, the booker, he wanted my opinion on things on the club to make it a more suitable place for national touring acts.
And this is music. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And I just kind of gave him I think if we do this with the sound system, if you get a dedicated backstage area, just constructive feedback that he asked for. Everything I said, he came back with some sort of just well, we can't because this is why I want it like this, and it's just
so then what the fuck is the point?
So then he didn't let me book anything, and I actually had Drake Bell on the hook for a gig there.
Really?
I was trying to book Drake Bell, and then the owner of this place wouldn't let me lock it in. He didn't approve it. Come a month later, after just not allowing me to book anything, I was like, all right, I'm just not working for you.
Yeah.
He had an outside booker who he paid more money bring Drake Bell in for 2 shows. That would have been 2 months of rent for me.
Yeah.
Just from one show booking with my commission. And then from there, I was working at Kohl's in the warehouse, unloading trucks in the morning, working overnights. Then I started working at social services.
Oh no.
And that
in
was
Virginia.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And that was crazy because the clients weren't bad. There's people who were hurting. They just needed assistance with Medicaid. Really was a big thing.
Yeah.
But then there were people the people who worked there were just horrible people. Some of them were great. I'm still in touch with them, but there's a lot of people. You get 45 days at the time to process a Medicaid application.
Okay.
If the client was a person of color, there were people who were outspokenly, I'm waiting until day 45.
Really?
Yeah. Or people who were genuinely eligible for SNAP food stamp benefits.
Yeah.
Or TANF, which is family assistance, welfare, who not an inkling of fraud. It was just if they were a person of color or say if they were gay or something like that, they would wait until day 30 to process those.
That's fucking disgusting.
So it's just it was a lot of that. There were people who brought guns in, even though it's illegal. They were well, if somebody acts out, I'm coming and shooting. It was just what you would expect out of rural Virginia.
Yeah.
Then from there, I started managing a liquor store.
Wow, dude, that's a bunch of odd jobs.
Dude, I lived a life like Forrest Gump, but I'm much less endearing.
Yeah.
It's just I kind of lived multiple lifetimes throughout that.
But
and then
that stuff is great for comedy.
Yeah.
That stuff you need that. I see young cats, not that we're old. I mean, what are you, 29?
29, yeah.
Okay. I see kids who are 21, 22, 23 doing comedy, and it's you don't have a whole lot of experience to draw back on. And sure, you could write good jokes, but there's something about living a life and being treated like shit and and seeing the stuff that you've seen where you go, it just makes you way better on stage, I think.
I agree.
I haven't heard any of those. You don't talk about that on stage.
Yeah, I'm waiting till my writing chops get to a certain place for certain bits of material.
Okay.
Because I do have a method to it. When it comes to stories,
okay,
I wait until I've got a bunch of punches before I can do the story on stage. I don't want to just do the story without the punches ready.
Really?
I'm very, and this is how I was with music. I wouldn't try a song on stage until I knew I had it down. It's never done. It's always going to get better. But there was a certain threshold of just a kind of a standards of excellence with that current thing or with that particular thing that just in my mind, I'm it has to be here for me to be proud of it.
See, I'm the opposite. That's an interesting thing. I'm like, I'm gonna tell the story, and if I'm up there, I maybe something will come to me. Maybe it'll be funnier. Maybe if I'm just kind of thinking through it. But I also wasn't always like that. I was like, let me write everything down and then perform it. Do you write? Like you write and then you go word for word kind of thing?
No, I get it close.
Yeah.
And then where I deviate is just what feels naturally physically to
Yeah.
say. Because I don't want there to be any like physical resistance with the words, but like I'll get like tags where I'm just like, say for every tag that you hear from me, there was probably 10 others.
Okay.
So I just write a bunch of tags for it, and then I kind of work through like my favorite 3 or 4, and then I whittle it down to whatever the one it's got to be.
Okay,
Just
that makes
based
sense.
on reactions. So I'll just keep trying it and see what works best. Just because, especially just with the past year and a half of like having pretty limited stage time, and like I just want to make everything count. I'm very kind of strategic with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that like, you know, and I didn't hit all the time. Obviously, you've seen it,
Yeah, yeah.
but like, you know, I wanted to make sure that to the best of my ability, I was coming out swinging as hard as possible.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to waste any stage time on just like a whiff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's smart. See, I've never, now more than ever, I'm kind of like, if I think the story's a funny story in general, like if we're just talking stories, right? I will go up and I mean, you've seen, I sometimes just fucking ramble about bullshit, because sitting down, I can only think so much. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, I'm like sitting, there's no pressure. I'm just like at the table and I'm like, well, nothing is coming to me right now. If I smoke a little weed, then it'll change things. But when I go up, there's a pressure of like, my brain is just working way better. Which for some people it's the exact opposite. They clam up. But I've come up with some of the best tags for stories, because I'm just in the fucking zone kind of thing, even if I'm not, you know. So that's interesting to hear because I can't. I'm like fucking retarded, dude. Like I sit down and I'll write.
No.
But you know better than anyone. Sometimes that's why I love when you host the mics, because I'm like, you're sitting there and I know if no one's gonna laugh at this, I know you will, because it's like dark and twisted.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's so interesting that like even a story that you've lived, you want it to be whole.
Yeah, I want it to have bones. Because my thing is like, if it doesn't have bones, it's going to take much longer for that to work on stage, and we only have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, once again, it's never going to be perfect when I bring it out, but like I just want it to have like to be the most settled in before I get up there with it.
Yeah.
Because then if like say like something does hit where I'm like, oh, it's a great like tag that I just improvised.
Yeah.
You know, then I just replace whatever tag with that
you have.
or I just add it if it works as an addition. Because then it makes that joke even better.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Well, in acting school, they did teach us one thing that was like, I've dealt with actors who have said, "Oh, I don't like to rehearse too much. Like, I don't want to be over rehearsed so I could be free." And the truth of the matter is, it's the exact opposite, which I know you know. I'm sure as a musician, the more you rehearse, the more free you are, because then when it comes time to, when you know it so well, that's when you come up with something crazy out of your head. So I understand that too.
Yeah.
You know.
The last song I recorded as an artist, it's called "See Me Again." It's on Apple Music and Spotify.
See Me Again, but it's Brian Rigby?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually one of the few songs I'm like proud of. So stream it.
I'm going to listen to that.
Don't listen to the other shit. But that's one where like I wrote it in 2018, I think, maybe a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
It didn't see the light of day for years. I just kept practicing it, kept kind of getting it down, kept changing certain things. And then I finally recorded it in 2023,
Okay.
I think. Didn't release it till like 2024. But I remember like not going into the studio with it because it was such like a good song structurally, and I was really proud of it that like I'm like, I want to make sure that like say my voice is able to like actually carry this, my piano playing is up to snuff, and then I've got all the parts solidified. And I practiced every part because I recorded everything except for drums on everything that I did, like, you know, post-pandemic. So I wanted to make sure every part was there. So that way when I got into the studio, I went into the studio knowing, like, this is going to be a very good record.
Okay.
And then whatever else happens on top of that is just a bonus. And like, so then I went in there and there's a guitar solo I played on there that I'm like, fuck, I didn't even practice that part. That's a completely different thing than what I composed, but it works so much better. I did an organ solo that like was just one of those things where it's like the best organ line that I've ever played. It's just a simple short one, but it's like that fit the texture perfectly. Vocally, I had one of the strongest vocal performances I've had in my life with some different melody lines than what I had already had.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from the confidence of going in with knowing, once again, this is going to be a very good record with how well I've prepared for it. And then everything, like, just kind of, when you're that comfortable, everything kind of happens around it because you know the pressure's off because you did your work. You did your homework. And that's kind of how I approach comedy. It's just like, I know this is going to be at least a good set because I put the work in. I know these jokes work. I know these tags. I've tested these out. And then whatever happens on top of that is a bonus.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, when you're writing a song, right, because I know nothing about this, like, do you write the lyrics first and then the music? Like, then you do the music, or it depends?
Depends on the song and depends on the thing. Like, there's some stuff that I've written that I haven't released that I purposefully wanted to write lyrics first with just very simple chords.
Okay.
Kind of like, I'm not sure if you ever listened to Townes Van Zandt or like Steve Earle.
I know them, but I don't listen to them.
They're like kind of old school, like country artists, but they're very folk in their lyricism.
Yeah.
And the music always takes the backseat to the lyrics with them, which is what they're great with.
Okay.
So to become a stronger lyricist, I started doing that as an exercise.
Yeah.
But primarily, I always had a musical idea in mind, and I love Billy Joel. He's one of my favorite artists of all
He's
time.
great.
And I kind of mimicked his style of just like, let me get like a majority of a song written musically, and then let the words kind of fall in to where they are naturally.
Okay.
Because I wanted the music to be a little bit more like just comfortable for me.
Yeah.
So I always kind of made sure the music was like where it was because I'm a stronger player than I'm a singer.
Yeah.
So that way the singing, I kind of was just like, I knew I can kind of go into B mode with my playing to focus on the singing.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I overthink things.
No, I mean, you definitely do, but it's an interesting way to see it. I read the Rick Rubin book, and I like Rick Rubin. Just because he's, whether or not you think he's a fucking nut or whatever,
I
he has.
I just think he's fucking useless and got so lucky. But
maybe that is the case. But he has produced some of the greatest albums ever made.
Correct.
And so like whatever you want to think about him, he's still attached to great music. And he was talking about Deftones and how he was going to work with them, and the way that they made the music. It wasn't like, I think it was, and I may be fucking this up, but I think that they basically made the music and then wrote the lyrics, and the lyrics are kind of like meaningless. There was no meaning behind the song, but it sounded really good. And I think for him, what he said, he couldn't work with them because he didn't understand that way. Like, would you ever write a song, like make the music and then write lyrics that they don't really mean shit, but they sound nice? You know what I'm saying?
For me particularly, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Because that's just my personality. Like, I don't discount songs of that. Like, I equally love Paul McCartney, and he's kind of like that, where there's a lot of it that is meaningless.
Yeah.
I said the song Jet. That's just he just saw his dog running through the yard, and like he made that song. But it's like one of my favorite songs of his.
Okay.
Me personally, as an artist, I'm a little bit more even as just a human being, just a little bit more intentional.
Yeah.
With everything that I do. So just like musically and just writing wise, yeah, I follow him with that. So that type of thing where the song doesn't make sense to me if it's just meaningless, I could still work with that.
Yeah.
I just don't particularly work that way.
Yeah, because I don't even listen to, like, when I listen to a song, I will read the lyrics along. Like, if it's the first time I'm hearing it, I'm like, I got to look up the lyrics, and I got to, like, oh, wow, because sometimes you can't understand what they're saying, but it sounds great.
Yeah.
So I read along, and then I will look up, oh, I'm like, what's the meaning? Like, why did he write this? And when it's like, oh, I was going through a really rough breakup, to me, automatically, the song is that much better.
Yeah.
Because it has some sort of like, oh, this guy went through something, and I can, relate to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I think if the meaning's not there, but the lyricism is like spectacular,
Yeah.
then I think that's what matters a little bit more to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if there's an actual craftsmanship to the lyrics, even if like the meaning's not as strong,
Yeah.
you can make something like that song I just referenced, "See Me Again." That's one of my few songs that's not autobiographical. It's got some things that could be,
Okay.
because I wrote the lyrics in such a way that they could be, but like that just came from just a small little idea of just like building characters off of just two people I met randomly on vacation years ago.
Well, that's also cool though. That's
Yeah.
also interesting. Like, if you, like, if I was listening to your song and I saw this, I'd go, oh, so this came from a real life, not situation, but an idea of like you said, character. There's still a story
Yeah.
in there. It's not, maybe not like your story, but it's a story that you thought, oh, because I mean, when you look at someone on the train, you create ideas about people.
Yeah, of course.
So that's relatable too.
Yeah, in a way, but like as far as like, the meaning goes, it really is meaningless. Like there's no emotional attachment to the characters.
Yeah.
It's just, but like, which is kind of worries me because I went like it made it emotional.
Yeah.
Somehow. But yeah, no, I think it really depends on just words are one of the most powerful things like man has ever created. In the sense that of art where like you can do so much with it. It's the most malleable, thing you could work with as an artist, I think.
Yeah.
And even though they're simple, they're words we use every day.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them in such a way that other people can't.
Yeah.
As an artist, that like some people just don't know how to use those words in a way like that. So I think that's what strikes me when it comes to lyricism and writing, more so than the actual like meaning behind it. Is how can you create meaning out of meaningless shit? I think is a pretty
well, that's comedy also.
Exercise. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
and that's I'm a huge fan of words as well. I know I come off like a fucking retard, but
no, you can't make me do that twice, dude.
No, I know. I love words. Like it's how we express things, and like to define things is also really interesting because really everything is like pillow. We created this. It's not really a pillow. It's just the word we created for it. But either way, it's how we express ourselves. It's a really beautiful thing, and that's why I love comedy, where you could take something meaningless and ridiculous, and you make people think, and you go, "Wow, that's
yeah."
I didn't look at it that way." And my dad actually is he was artistic, but he didn't. He was a business guy. He was one of the most gifted writers. Like, if you needed a letter to be written, and he would use a fountain pen. Like, my dad was, like, old school. You needed a good letter for, like, professional purposes. This guy, or he wrote me a couple letters, too, like, personally, as, like, father to son kind of thing. And it was...
I don't know, you're both around in the 1860s, but okay.
Yeah, no, my dad... I do that. I've done that with women. I've written, wrote a letter, and it's just how I can express my ideas better rather than just, like... I'm not saying this right. I'm fucking this up. Let me sit and just put it on paper for you.
Yeah. It's like Thomas Jefferson.
Kind of, yeah.
That's why there's a bunch of like half black kids in the
That's
bedroom.
they need to stay in there. But my dad was a gifted writer, and I would look at this and go, "Holy shit! Like it's incredible. Like the vocabulary, everything." And it was, and I'm not saying I'm a gifted writer, but it did definitely help watching that. And then when I would write, I would. He helped mold it, writing for me, and made it like I understood the importance of words because of him.
Yeah.
But it's difficult, man, in comedy to make you take. I'm trying to think who does it. There's certain people we know, or who does it. Like, I'll use like Mitch Hedberg, like these wildly ridiculous things that they're like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Funny. They make it funny, not like oh my god, because his is more like a little ridiculous, but. Yeah, man. It's I come off, like I said, a little retarded, but I do have like the artist, like there is that in like the idea of the artist when as a comic, if you do that, you're automatically like, oh, look at this fucking gay guy, like
we've all seen your stories. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gay sometimes on my stories, but I do still always in my like deep. Inside of me is like there is an artistic value to all this.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's cool, like to hear you talk about it because most comics are gonna be like, "Fuck that," like whatever. Like they'll laugh it off.
Yeah. But there's a lot of thoughtful comics out there. Yourself included. And it's cool, like, I see some parallels, even if it's something like, say, the title of the joke is, like, just something like, oh, weird split dick. Like, just something like that, where it's like, oh, my weird split dick joke. Like, the ways some comics, like I said, including yourself and a lot of the people we associate with, they think about those things. They talk about it in the way, like, when I'm talking to the band about, like, what order we should put our set in. And, like, stuff like that, where it's just like, oh, yeah, like, we really do. We are artists. It's just the content is silly.
Yeah.
But, like, the work isn't.
It's not. It's not, and it means a lot. I was talking to Eli about it. that like it laughing matters. You know, it
Yeah.
really fucking does. And the amount of work that gets put into one fucking joke is, you'd think that this is life or death, like the way that we treat this. Like, you know, I sit sometimes outside and I'm thinking about this thing that is fucking ridiculous, but I'm sitting there and I'm going, no, this is like a math equation, you know. And you obviously, the way you just what you just told me, you really hammer away, and you're like, what? And that is that there's art to that, even if it's about fucking, you know, Michael Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, the amount of thought I've put into, I've got this one joke about Greek people because I live in Astoria now.
I remember that. Yeah.
You know, just like my landlord's not Greek, thank God.
Yeah.
From the people who brought you modern math and critical thinking, we now present counting small amounts of cash out loud. Like, it's just like, that's one of those things where I thought about how to frame that joke, how to make that funny.
Yeah.
And like, so much thought. It's not even like a great joke, but just the amount of mental effort I put into that
Yeah.
is kind of hilarious to think about.
It's
Like,
funny.
yeah.
But you also, the cool part that I don't think people put two and two together is the idea that you had to really look at somebody. You know what I mean? You really looked at your landlord. You saw what he was doing, even if it is just counting money, which seems ridiculous. But you paid attention.
Yeah.
Which so many people just let things go over their head, when it's like finding the little beauty or the little things that are the idiosyncrasies of people.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
There's an awareness that we have, I think,
Yeah.
as comics. And that's the only difference between a comic and like an artist in another medium is we're analyzing that, and instead of painting them
Yeah.
or like describing them in a way that's like romantic, we're dressing them down and making fun of them, which is amazing.
It's great. It's great. And that's the it brings you down to, there's levity. There's levity in these little things. Like, it is refreshing when you go, oh yeah, oh wow, that happens to everyone. Like, when you show it to people, they go, oh my God, that's in front of my face all the time.
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing, because it's there and you don't pay attention.
Especially with how crazy and negative the world can be.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the most important art forms for that.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what drove me away from, you know, songwriting and more into this is just like, you know, I'm a much more serious tone when it comes to being a songwriter. I'm not like a fun, like, yeah, like, you know, I've got like upbeat songs, but the lyrics are tragic.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like, you know, it's very easy to fall into that. And that's like, you know, a lot of my writing influence comes from like the late 60s, early 70s, where like all of my favorite writers were just like trying to process Vietnam.
Yeah.
And like, you know, we have, you know, maybe not one central tragedy, but like life lately in the past 10 years has just seemed like tragedy after tragedy. So it's like, yeah, having the ability to look at the world and find some joy out of it, or find a way to just like kind of poke fun and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's monumentally important.
Yeah, man. It's a very it's super important, and I don't want to come off as like the guy who's like, well, we're doing is, it matters, it does, but
This is the Lord's work.
Yeah, we're not doing that, and I think that when you get close to that, when you border that line of like, yeah, this is important, it does make people feel good. People put too much importance on you, where it's like people are looking to comics for, I don't know, or they're judging what comics say because it's, you know what I mean? You got to go, there's such a, you get so close to that line of like, no, don't listen to me, but it is important.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm showing you, you know, comics are not politicians. And I think people sometimes go, well, this one said it, and like comedy, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why I stay away from political humor, because like the thought of either, you know, the thought of clapter,
Ugh.
like it's just like, you know, people clapping instead of laughing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, this isn't a rally.
No.
That's actually one of my favorite things. I love like old school comics, like what's his name? I'm blanking on it. He played Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story. He was like an insult comic, all kind of improvised.
Gilbert Gottfried?
No, older. I was just listening.
Wait, Don Rickles.
Don Rickles.
But
Thank
he
you.
played I think it was the pig. No,
No, he was Mr. Potato Head.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I love Don Rickles though.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite. I listened to Hello Dummy, his album, like constantly.
Yeah.
It's just great, like crowd work that you could tell were like bits that he wrote that he has like just stored for the perfect moment, and it's brilliant. But at one point he says something like, you know, shitty like he does, But then people were like clapping, and he's like, no, this is not a rally, you moron. Don't get behind that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's kind of watching him break like that. It's just like, yeah, that's important to remember. Like, this is, we're characters.
Yeah.
It might be ourselves, but we're playing an amplified version of ourselves.
It's
For
true.
the most part. And it's just like, yeah, it's at the end of the day, the audience has to remember we're just trying to make people laugh, but also comics too. Have to remember the goal is to make people laugh. Like, we're not here to change anybody's minds. We're not here to like lead a revolution. It's literally all we're there for is entertainment.
Yeah, to make someone
that
feel
gets
good.
lost.
And, I mean, and it is cool. The byproduct of laughing is getting someone to think about whatever it is even if it's the most ridiculous thing. But it's not to sit there and go, you need to believe what I believe. Where there's a lot of comics who pander to that shit.
Yeah.
They love the idea of like getting on the soapbox, knowing that these people feel the same way, and to me that's the lowest form of comedy.
Yeah, my goal with anytime I joke about something, that's like, about the world.
Yeah.
I want people to look at that thing and be able to giggle at it, and for them to kind of think of like, oh, how can I make fun of it?
Yeah.
That's always been, my goal with this too. Is just like I don't want to have an opinion up there.
Yeah.
If I do, I want the opinion to be silly, but like. I would love, just like with that Greek joke, people to just look at like a Greek landlord when they're paying in cash going,
yeah, in that
You
moment, that every day-to-day thing that you wouldn't normally find laughter in.
yeah. And it just makes it so much fun,
It does, and it's exciting to go against the grain in the sense of like, it's like if everyone does believe one thing, my instinct 9 times out of 10 is like, even if I don't believe the other thing, I'm going to figure out an argument for that other side because it's the underdog side.
Yeah.
I prefer that. I like to go, I have a joke about rabbis and priests, and I go, and I preface the joke now. We're going, I go, I don't condone this. I do not condone this. You understand? I'm like, but this is a thought. And I go, why aren't rabbis molesting as many kids as priests? And then I have a punchline and all that. But it's, I know how foreign this thought is, and like how this is like, how could you even want to think that? And it's like the idea of how I want to be able to, the fight is harder. It's a heavyweight opponent rather than a welterweight. And I can go, people will at the end of it go, kind of makes it makes a point, but in the most ridiculous manner. And that's, I prefer if everyone's like, right now it's happening, and I don't do much political stuff unless I think of something really funny. I don't have much of a stance, but everyone loves Zoran right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not his biggest fan, and that's a plus in the sense of like thinking.
Once
the
again, we've
opposite.
seen your stories.
Yeah, I hate him. But now it is the underdog to be against him, and like every comic I see up there is like, yeah, we vote for Zoran, we got this, and like my thing is like, all right, well, not always will I believe the things that I say, but in this case, I happen to agree with it, so I'm like, all right, it makes it a little more fun.
Yeah.
But so I'll go up there and do the exact opposite and hope to get those people on my side, not because of any reason other than it's harder. And I think that's where a lot of people get screwed up, is because they go, he said that, he must believe it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't. I'm finding a way to talk shit here.
Yeah. See, that's why I steer clear from that. I pick fights with weird shit.
Yeah.
Like I gotta. Have you heard my Chet Hanks bit?
I may have heard it before, because now that you're saying Chet Hanks coming out of your mouth.
So this is where like I'm making fun of Chet Hanks and women who love Chet Hanks in this bit.
Yeah.
And that's my fight. That's where I choose, and that's where like I truly believe in this.
That's funny.
But like, I've got a bit like, if a girl follows Chet Hanks on Instagram, like, run for your life.
Yeah.
Because like, if you bring this girl home for a family dinner, she's gonna steal from your parents.
Yeah, that's funny.
And it's just and I'm also like making fun of Chet Hanks in the process, but it's just like, yeah, those are the fights where I'm like, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, but it's also, I'm sure it's silly.
Yeah. It's also, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything.
But then it's also, that's the type of thing where I want people, next time Chet Hanks is in the news, because he will be,
Yeah.
just to go,
Yeah.
yeah, like, oh, there's girls who like that. Even shout out Elizabeth at Judy Z's. After I did that bit there, she was like, hey, I like Chet Hanks. He's hot. I'm just like, please tell me you don't follow him. And she pulled up her Instagram.
That's so
because she
funny.
wasn't sure, and she did. And I was celebrating.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. Or I get a bit about biblical names.
Yeah.
Do parents who name their kids something biblical, like, no, the kid's gonna be a piece of shit,
Yeah.
or is it an accident? And just some
That's
examples. And yeah, same thing. Just anytime someone meets somebody with like a religious name, or just like people who just think they're pious in any sort of way, just with the association of religion, just making it silly. It's my opinion, like, because I find it silly.
Yeah.
I don't respect it.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to sway anybody into that. It's just kind of just like, I want people to just look at something and be able to giggle about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just from like their subconscious even.
Of course. And but like that's the other thing, that the fact that someone would get worked up because someone else believes something different, and it's like in the context of a comedy club where it's supposed to be outrageous, even if you don't agree, you should have the intention of like, all right, whatever. Like even if he does believe that, he's in a comedy, it's supposed to be a little out there. But like I don't care about someone else's beliefs as long as they're not trying like genuinely going like, they're like being racist without any intention of being funny. Like I think racist jokes are funny. If they're told the right way, they could be really funny. But I don't think that. I think the intention, like when you hear it.
Of course.
When
I see you putting the blackface makeup on at the Grizzly Pear, I just know it's coming from a silly place.
It's coming from a fun place.
And that's, exactly.
Yeah, that's just.
Because you're not doing the voice. I think that's like.
If I did the voice, I'd be wrong.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't do that. I can't do black accent.
Yeah. Well, it's just because minstrel shows don't sell. And that's
true. That is true. That's a good point, Brian. You're right.
We've all tried.
Yeah, you got to try. That's the other thing with comedy. If you have an idea, you got to try it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I think that we're living in a funky time, and it's just really. Art is an important thing, but it gets so funky when people start going, like Brian Holtzman, for example.
Mm-hmm.
He says crazy shit, and the fact that you could even that he says it on stage. He's like, I saw a video this morning about him where he did this crazy, and one woman was like, I don't like that. You should get off the stage. And he goes, everyone here knows that I'm joking, except you. Except you.
And
like
you're the asshole.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I've said horrible shit up here, but everyone knows I'm joking. How do you not? Like, what happened to you?
Yeah. Dude, I'm now in this world, I'm noticing, and there's comics who are guilty of this. There are people who either don't have a sense of humor or just don't enjoy humor.
Which is sick.
And it's bizarre, especially when it's like a comic. Like, some of them are actually like great writers, and they understand how to make a well-crafted joke. But like when it comes to intaking it, there's people that just don't enjoy comedy, and it's bizarre because they ruin the room when they're sitting in the crowd, because it's just like, why are you here? You're at a place that's marketed as it's solely for comedy.
Yeah,
no, you're not here for any other reason, but you don't enjoy comedy, so why are you here?
It makes no sense.
And because like there's stuff that like, I might not find funny, but like
you could appreciate the thought behind it.
Yeah, and also like that doesn't ruin the person's set for me as a spectator. Like just because that joke didn't land with me doesn't mean the next one won't.
Yeah, you're still open to it.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem. But yeah, there's a weird amount of people, because like you'll talk to people like, I don't watch a lot of stand up.
I don't either.
And really?
I don't.
But even like growing up?
No, growing up I loved it.
Exactly.
Since I started, I don't watch it. Growing up,
of course,
I loved it.
But now it's just like because you don't want to like accidentally pull something, but like just talking like just a general person.
Yeah.
Like I've never really liked stand up. It's just like
that's
a
insane.
weird person. That's a huge red flag to me. People who don't like to laugh. Like I just don't get it.
I couldn't date a woman that didn't appreciate. Like I like a silly, retarded girl. Like genuinely, actually retarded. Full face melt. No, no. I like a girl who could be dumb and hear a really twisted joke and go, "Oh my God, that's funny."
Yeah.
I don't like a girl who goes, like it'll never work. It won't work between us.
What I will take is, this is my favorite thing. I find this actually very attractive. When a girl doesn't want to laugh and she goes,
that's the
best. This is like, because like I fucking won. You were trying, and
you tried so hard, and I got you. I got you, motherfucker. That is the best, when you see a couple, and the boyfriend's laughing, and then he looks over to the girl, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like she's pissed, and then she does that. She does the
dude. Even socially,
Oh, it's
outside of comedy. Like if like you crack a joke at work, and like the quiet girls are like, nothing's better.
there's nothing because it also there's a sense of like this person may like me a little bit for what I just said, which is crazy.
Which they never do.
No,
But
not really. But hey, what time is it? So I could.
oh, yeah, my phone's over there.
Oh shit! Is it 1:30 already? Hold on. How long have we been going? Oh wow, we've been going wild.
Oh shit. Okay.
Because I gotta be at the stand at 2:30. And wow, we went for an hour and 10 minutes. Does that feel like an hour and 10 to you?
Yeah. No.
Really? Fuck you, dude. Go fuck yourself. I'm not releasing this episode, you piece of shit. Fuck you and your fucking faggy music.
Brian, you're so nice.
Yeah, Brian's a piece of shit. I lied.
He
right?
is.
I was pandering.
There's a reason I hate myself.
You fucking scumbag. Well, Brian, you're a lovely guy. I seriously enjoy hanging out with you. I enjoy
Same
seeing
to you,
you. And really, when I first met you, I was like, I don't know if this guy is gonna be funny ever. And and you're hysterical. You're genuinely like, yo. I remember like from the first time, and obviously people could say that about me. I'm sure. It's no, they don't think I'm funny still, but I'm trying. No, I see you host now, dude. You're so quick. You're so funny. You got those one-liners. I really like watching you and watching you persevere through fucking. I know you got a lot of shit. I wish that we got more into personal stuff, but next time, you're a stand-up guy.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you for you've been supportive since I met you I think a week in to doing this, and you've been nothing but supportive. So thank you. I'm really glad that you put me on 3 months into this, despite making the theme music for it. Yeah, and I'm really glad.
I had to do it. I had to let you know that I don't give a shit about you. Really,
that's perfect. Cool.
Well,
but thanks for having me, dude.
Of course. You have any shows and socials? Let people know.
Yeah. When is this coming out?
I want to get it out within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Will you have a show done already?
Probably. Yeah, I've got like 3 before that. Anyway.
Well, mention it because I may push it forward. So
okay. Well, DeVito and Friends next week. You're probably gonna miss. Got a couple other things going. Some music projects going. I can't remember the dates off the top of my head. My phone's across the room. But at Brian Rigby Comedy on Instagram. Check out "See Me Again." It's the last song I put out before retiring from being a singer-songwriter. Proud of it. And then
Brian. See you guys later. Bye-bye.